So let's read about the author and illustrator. So Becky Bloom was born in Greece, but has traveled to many countries to work and go to school. She has many different animals around her, but no wolf. Her other books include Leo and Lester, Mice Make Trouble, and Crackers. And let's read about Pascal Biet. Has lived in France his whole life. He was born in the north of France in Saint Laurent. He studied visual communication and design. He now lives and works in Paris. Okay, so go ahead and read about Becky Bloom, please.
Becky Bloom was born in Greece but has traveled to many countries to work and go to school. He has many different animals around her, but no wolf. Her other stories include Leo and Lester, Mice Make Trouble, and Crackers.
Okay, good. And now about Pascal Biet.
Pascal Biet has lived in France in his whole life. He was born in the north of France in southern Flanders. He studied visual communicate, and design.
Communication
and design. Now he lives and works in Paris.
Okay, very good. Aw, look at that. So, author's purpose. Why do you think Becky Bloom wrote about a wolf learning to read in wolf?
What do you mean?
So why do you think the author, so the title of the story is Wolf, right? So why do you think Becky Bloom wrote about a wolf learning to read?
Because no animal know how to read. Unless, mammals, humans.
Yeah, but think about, so the moral, right? What was the moral of the story?
I don't really know.
So the moral was a lesson, right, that the story teaches you. So
it's good to have good friends and good families. Like, so pretend this is me and this is you. Here. I'll draw a little, sketch. So here it is.
Okay.
And then we have, there's a lovely vase here. And you broke it.
Okay.
And fell to the ground. So I am very small and you are starting to cry. So we have no friends, no family. How will we get help? We have to rode a bicycle in our house. That would be very weird.
Okay, good. So also try to think, so what is the author trying to tell us? So maybe we're going to come across people who we're going to meet people who don't really know how to do something, or people that are barely learning how to do something, right? So maybe this story is telling us that we really have to pay attention to those people and not be mean, right? Because they are doing their best. They're putting all the hard work, and maybe they do not learn as fast as you do, right? So maybe we have to be a little bit patient, and we have to understand that they are trying their best and still celebrate and be proud of their work, right?
That's true, but I'm thinking the other way. I'm thinking the wolf. I have another example, never give up.
That's excellent, right? That's also a very, very good lesson. Because the wolf never gave up, right? Even if his friends were.
He had little money.
Yeah.
Yup. That's a good character.
Yeah, very good, Alita. Okay, so we haven't done this in a while, so we're going to do this before giving your homework. So respond to reading. Summarize. So when you summarize, what are you doing?
Summarize what you... Okay, so summarize.
If I tell you, Alita, summarize this story, what am I asking you to do?
Oh, so first, Wolf had a little money. Next.
So that's sequence, right? Which can be part of summarize, right? But if I tell you, Alita, summarize this story, I'm asking you to tell me what this story is about without going back and reading every sentence again, right?
Yeah, that was what I meant.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. So it says, think about the important details in a wolf. Summarize what you learned about what stories can teach you. Use your character chart to help. Okay, so we already talked about this, right? So we learned that, to never give up and also to be patient and be nice to people who are learning, right?
Okay.
So tell why wolf is a fantasy.
Which wolf? Is the story wolf or
Yeah, so this is
the character wolf?
The title of the story.
Okay, so wolf is a fantasy. So it teaches you a lesson and the genre says it's fantasy.
Okay, but why is it fantasy? What makes it be fantasy?
It teaches you a lesson.
Right, but so fantasy is a story that is kind of like fiction, right? That can never happen. So a wolf can't read, right? So that's fantasy.
Yes, and the main character had to be an animal.
Yeah, that's another type of genre, but in fantasy, yeah, it just has to be something that can't happen in real life, right?
But one day we read fantasy, you told me that.
It was folk tales. With I don't remember the name of the story, but it was a folk tale. And that is when, the main character is an animal, right? But for fantasy, the characters can even be, with the human, right? Even if a human is real, but if the story is about how a human started to fly, that can't happen, right? You can't just open your arms and start flying.
I'm fine.
Yeah, so that would be fantasy.